Yes, I was wondering if Stan Johnson, when he won the right to trade tobacco to his best advantage, did he require an agreement? Did Junior Marshall, when Junior Marshall fished for a commercial moderate livelihood, did he require an agreement? Do the moose hunters have to go and ask permission from the chiefs or from KMK for an agreement before they go moose hunting? So if the answer is no to all of the above, why do we need an agreement to assert what we already have and which is already entrenched in law?
What are the steps that they will take?
I mean, first of all, I'm not exactly clear on the Stan Johnson reference.
He won the right for tobacco to sell tobacco to his best advantage. Are you familiar with the Royal Proclamation and Treaty of 1752?
Familiar with those.
Okay,
well, not familiar with your interpretation of the Stan Johnson case, but
he won it, didn't he?
In what you indicated, didn't the Junior Marshall case stand for the fact that Mi'kmaq can go out fishing? In our belief, it did. But when people tried to go out fishing after the Marshall case, they were charged. Their boats were seized. Their gear was seized. And what the courts have said in the Marshall case is, at the end of the day, governments and First Nations have to negotiate, not the right, but they have to negotiate how the right will be implemented. The courts have been clear about that on any number of cases that have come down. So at the end of the day, the choices are be involved and determine how the rights can be implemented, or hope that government implements it on its own in a way that's satisfactory. And what was clear after the Marshall case is they did not implement it in a way that was satisfactory. In the moose guidelines, nobody's telling anybody that they have to go get permission to go hunt moose. Nobody's telling anybody that they need an agreement to do it. But what they are saying is, at some point in the future, the Mi'kmaq might want to be a governing resource manager for that moose herd. They might want to understand and be able to call shots on the way that that resource is harvested, not just by Mi'kmaq people, by everyone, because it's a finite resource. And we all know that. And we all know what was happening with the moose hunt 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, because the elders came forth and talked about it. So at the end of the day, implementation, as I said, it's not about negotiating the treaties. It's about talking about how Mi'kmaq people can go hunt, can go fish, can go into the forest and take wood, and do so with the knowledge that they're not going to get charged, and they're not going to be in court. That's what this process is about.
Eric, can we find out how much it's cost so far since you guys have been negotiating? How much money have you got from the federal government, and how much of it, and where did it come from? And did any of that money come from the oil companies or anybody else?
No. Every chief has the audits of KMKNO that they receive every year. Those are available for people to look at. We receive funding from the Negotiation Preparedness Initiative, which is grant funded. It is not loan funded. And absolutely, we have received no money from oil companies. I know that much.